Well, hello and welcome again to our reading of the Greek New Testament. We're reading Luke's Gospel and we're up to chapter 10. This is the mission of the 72. This is not mentioned in any of the other Gospels. Metadotauta an edex en kurios heterus, hebdome conta duo kai apestelen autus anadua pro prosopu autu es pasan polin kai topon hu emilin autos kesthai. So we've already had a pericope about Jesus sending out his disciples, and now we have this second one. It's a rather odd one where he sends out the 72. The 2 actually is in brackets, so it's the 70 or perhaps the 72. So after these things, the Lord, this is from Anadake to appoint. So he appointed 70 or 72 others, depending on whether you read the duo or not. And he sent them, anaduo, 2 by 2, and again another duo in square brackets here. Ana can have that meaning in lots of, so anatuo, so 2 at a time. Pro prosopu autu, before his face, into each city and place. Who is that word here meaning where? So be careful with that one. So into the place, city, into each city and place where Amelen, he was about, from mellow with the funny augment here, he himself was about kesthai to come. Elegen de prosautus, and he began to say to them, homen therismos polus, hoi de agatai ogoi, de ethete un to kuriou to therismu, hopos agates ek bale es ton therismon autu. So we get a nice men and a balancing deck here. So the harvest, the therismos, is much, so often translated plentiful, but the workers, oligoi, are few in number. Ask, this is from deamai, and it's a deponent, but generally goes into the passive, and this is a passive imperative here. So ask, therefore, and it takes a genitive. So ask the master or the Lord of the harvest, so that he might literally throw out, but it's much weaker sense, he might send out, he might disperse ergatas, workers, into his harvest, the therismon. Hubagati, go. Ido apostella humas hos anas en mesolukon. Behold, I send you like sheep into the midst of wolves. Me bastadsete belantion, me peran, me hupedemata, kai me dena kataten hodon aspasesti. So do not carry a balantion, is a purse, nor pera. A pera is a little leather pouch in which you put food or money, generally often food, nor hupedemata, nor sandals, nor shoes. Commentators think that probably means here a second pair of shoes, because you have to wear shoes, or sandals of some sort. It probably means a second pair. And greet nobody kataten hodon on the way. From aspasdomai, do not greet, it's middle, so do not greet anyone on the way. Ace hain dan ace eltheti oikian proton legati erene to oiko tuto, and into whichever house you might enter. Now, Greek often does this. It puts the relative pronoun, in fact, before, not after, the antecedent. So it's literally into the house, whichever one you might enter into. So we would say into whichever house you enter. Proton adverbial. Firstly, say, imperative. Peace, understand, be to this house. Kai ean eke he huios erenes, ep anapaesatai, ep auton he erene humon. And if the son of peace might be there, that's a subjunctive from the verb to be here. Ep anapaesatai. Now this is a compound verb here. It's a slightly irregular. It's from ep and ana, and this actually is pow, pi alpha upsilon. If you're looking this up, it's ep and a power to rest to rest upon, from power, and it's got this irregular form here with the upsilon suddenly turning into, it disappears really, and you're getting a linking vowel of eta. And I think from memory this is happens in Ionic Greek. And you do get these Ionicisms in the New Testament language. Most of the Koine Greek is based on Attic Koine, but you do get these Ionic forms. So if the Son of Peace might be there, your peace will rest upon it. Upon him. Probably agreeing with the autos here rather than the oikos. So the auton could be referring to oikos, or it could be referring to the person. Ada may ge, but in fact otherwise, very strong ge here. Anacampse, from anacampto, it will return upon you. So otherwise, in fact, it will return to you. En aute de te oikia menete esthiontes kai pinontes ta parauton, axios gar agates tu misthuautu. And in that very house remain, so remain in that very house, in the house itself, esthiontes, eating and drinking the things from them. So the things they give to you. Axios gar, for the worker is worthy to misthuautu, of his reward, of his pay. Misthos can be wages. So the worker is worthy of his wage, we might say here. Me meta to ex oikias es oikian. Do not, it's meta plus bino. Meta has that sense of change, so do not move from house to house. Do not step literally from house to house. Kai es, and here's another one of these examples of the relative pronoun coming before the antecedent. So it's, and into a city, whichever one you might enter into. So into whichever house you might enter, and decontai, and this is subjunctive, they might receive you. Eat that which is paratithemena ahumin, that which is placed before you, from paratithemi. So eat that which is placed before you. Kai therapuete tus en aute asthenes, kai legate autois, hengiken f humas he basilea to theo. And heal the sick who are in it. This is referring to the oikia, the house, that's why it's feminine. And say to them, the kingdom of God. Hengiken is from hangizdo, from engizdo, formed from engus, meaning near. So engizdo is to draw near. This is the perfect form here. Has drawn near upon you. Eis heindan polin es elthetikai me decren tai humas, exelthontes es tapateos autes epete. Again, same structure as before. Into whichever house you might enter, and they do not receive you. Exelthontes, having gone out into the Platea Artes, often translated as streets, but the Platea is the square, it's the public open area. So might say into the streets. Apete, say, kai ton konioton ton kalethenta humin ectes polios humon estus podas apomasometha humin. Conis is the usual word for dust. It's a third declension noun, conis. This is a second declension neuter. It's sort of a diminutive form, but it's equivalent to conis, dust. Even the dust, literally that which has glued to us, so that which has collected on our feet, I suppose. Kollao is to join with, or it's often used to glue. I think our word collage is connected with this. Even the dust which has attached itself to us from your city, apomasometha, maso is to wipe, so we wipe off against you, so onto our feet. So we need to do that bit as well. So even the dust which is collected, which has attached itself to us on our feet from your city, we will wipe it off. Humin is a dative of disadvantage. We will wipe it off against you. Now, plain often has that meaning of but. It's probably the meaning here. But plain tuto ginoskete hoti aingiken he basileo to theou. But know this, that the kingdom of God has come near. Again, perfect from engizdo. Lego humin hoti sodomois in tehemera ekene anektoteron estai e te poly ekene. For I say to you that on that day it will be an ektoteron more bearable for the people in Sodom than for that city. This is a comparative here. It's Anna plus, now the ek here is actually from echo with a chi, meaning to have or hold and hence to bear, so it's really like anecho, and the chi deaspirates before the unaspirated dental here, so the root here is actually from echo. It will be more bearable for on that day for the people of Sodom rather than for that city. The next little pericope is also in Matthew. Uai soi Chorazin, uai soi Bethsaida. Woe to you, Chorazin, and woe to you, Bethsaida. Hoti en turo kai Sidoni egenethes en hoi dunames hai genominai en humin, polai an en sako kai spodo, kathemanai metanoesan. Because if the mighty works, the dunamis, which have taken place among you, took place in Tyre and Sidon, Palai long ago in sackcloth and ash, sitting in with sackcloth and ash, they would have, the an goes with the verb here, they would have repented. Tyre and Sidon are these sea ports down in modern day Lebanon. Tyre had a very unhappy history of opposing Alexander the Great, and of course was totally wiped out when he finally got hold of the place. He wiped out the population. So these were not, generally had quite a bad time. Plain Turo kai Sidoni anekoteron estai ente chrysae e humin. But it will be more bearable in the judgment for Tyre and for Sidon than for you. Kai su Capharnaum me heos uranu hupsathesai heos to heidi katabase. This is a funny. There appear to be verses here, and there's various readings, and you might like to compare here Isaiah 14:13. But this, as you see, it's not in black. This is not a quotation from the Septuagint. But in Tyre and Sidon, it would be more. We've done that bit. And you, Capernaum, there's a question: will you be elevated as far as heaven? This is from Hoops O. This is the future passive here, and the may is expecting the answer no. So surely you will, it's second person here. Surely you will not be elevated as far as heaven. Or sorry, surely you will not be. It is a question. And you will descend from Katabino, but you will go down as far as Tuharu. You have to understand oiku here as far as the house of Hades. They often leave out in classical Greek same thing. You'll often see en heidu, and you have to understand oiko or something. So as far as the house of Hades. Hode akuon humon emu akue kai hot atheton humas emi athete. Hode emi atheton athete ton apostelonta me. The one hearing you hears me, and the one this is from athetio. It's the alpha privative plus the thet root here is from tithami. So to reject, to not to place, hence reject. So the one rejecting you rejects me, athetio, and the one rejecting me rejects the one having sent me. And this finishes off the story of the return of the 72, and hence it's only in Luke. Hypostrepsen de hoi hebdomekonta duo metakaras legontes, curie kai tatamonia hypotacetai humin enter onomati su. So the 70, or if you will the 72, depending on whether you accept the reading or not, they returned metakaras with joy legontes, saying, O Master, O Lord, even the demons, neuter plural singular verb, are subject to us in your name. Epan de autois ethiorun ton satanan hos astrapen ectu uranu pesonta. And he said to them, I was beholding Satan like a astrapan is lightning, falling from heaven, or like a lightning flash, the astrape. Idu dedo kahumin ten exousian tu patain, epano ophion kai scorpion, kai epipasanten dunamin tu ekthru, kai udin humas ume adikase. And behold, I gave to you the authority, this is 2 plus infinitive, so as to trample. Patio is to walk upon, trample. So to tread upon would be good here. So as to tread upon, and that's the upon, the apano. Ophion is the genitive plural from office, is the word office, if you're looking this up. It's a third declension feminine noun with ending in is, and the genitive puts the linking vowel epsilon in there. So it's office, and ophion is the genitive plural. So to walk on serpents and scorpions. It's connected with the word scorpizdo, which means to scatter, and that's probably intentional, I suppose, with where the word comes from. But you see a scorpion, you tend to move fairly quickly. Anyway, so to trample upon snakes and scorpions, and upon all the power of, or the might of the enemy, to ek through. Kai, so we get ume plus the subjunctive. So uden here is the subject here. Nothing by any means will do wrong to you. So perhaps injure for addicio is another meaning of injure, to do wrong to, hence injure. So nothing shall by any means injure you. Plain, but en tuto me kairete hotita pneumata humin hypotacetai, kairete de hoti ta onomata humon en gegraptai entois uranois. So, but do not rejoice in this, that the spirits are made subject to you. This is the passive from hypotasso, are made subject to you, but rejoice because your names engegraptai are inscribed from engrapto. This is the have been inscribed. It's the perfect passive here from engrapho, have been inscribed in the heavens. And that's the first part of chapter 10.